Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Choda. In this episode of Ignition Time, I'm going to give you important comments from the President from the evening briefing that was conducted yesterday. The President said the bill's not going to happen. He specifically said the bill's not going to happen because, and he's talking about the Democrats, because they don't even want to talk about it, because we can't give them the kind of ridiculous things that they want that have nothing to do with the pandemic. And he also had a concern about the mail-in ballots and the money that was allocated towards the post office. Now, towards the end of this video, I'm going to try and heal our community. I'm going to try and help you get through this. So make sure you watch the video all the way through to the end. But I do want you to buckle up for this video, fasten your seat belts, because this video is not for the faint of heart. I'm going to give you the news as hard-hitting as it might be, because I want you to know the truth. I don't just want to give you good news. I want to give you the actual news so you can prepare for the future. And I'm hoping I can give you good news. I mean, trust me, I would like nothing more than to give you good news. So I'm going to talk to you about why the President's comments on the United States Postal Service. And by the way, don't say, well, what does the Postal Service have to do with this? Everything, as you're about to find out. So why the President's comments on the United States Postal Service and mail-in voting could signal the end of all future stimulus. Yes, it could signal the end of all future stimulus based on the comments from the President. And again, towards the end of this video, I'm going to try and heal our community, because I do have a surprise for you towards the end of this video. So again, the President in an evening news briefing basically said that the bill's not going to happen. On your screen right now, you'll see a Twitter message from Erica Werner, who's a Washington Post congressional reporter. And as you can see, Erica writes that the President announced that the bill's not going to happen because of the ridiculous demands from the Democrats pertaining to the post office mail-in voting. Here's another Twitter message on your screen from Christina Wilkie, who covers the White House for CNBC. And she basically highlighted the fact that the President is saying that the Democrats want $3.5 billion for mail-in voting, and they want approximately $25 billion for the post office. So the President said he would not approve $25 billion in emergency funding for the Postal Service or $3.5 billion in supplemental funding for election resources. He said that that was too expensive. So as you can see the tweet on your screen from Christina Wilkie, the President said that they meaning the Democrats, want $3.5 billion, and they are not going to do a deal that's good for the American people. They are not going to get the $3.5 billion, which means the President is not going to sign off on a stimulus package which includes $3.5 billion towards election resources, which is what the Democrats want. So the President basically said, therefore, they cannot do the universal mail-in vote. It's very simple. Exactly what the President said. I'll actually share a clip, the news clip, the video of the President, so you can actually watch that for yourself. And the President said they don't have the money to do the mail-in voting. Are they going to do it if they don't have the money? So he basically said, well, I'm not going to sign it. It's not going to happen. And basically, the President said that without the Postal Service money that he's blocking, the election will, and I quote, be the greatest fraud in history. So there you have it on your screen, the tweet from Christina Wilkie, who covers the White House for CNBC. The next tweet is from Eli Stokols, who's a White House reporter. He's an MSNBC political analyst. He said, and I quote his Twitter feed, Trump has made clear he won't sign any pandemic bill that includes money for the United States Postal Service, and he's making it very clear why that is. And next, you'll see a tweet from Jake Sherman from Politico, and here's what Jake Sherman said. He was as clear as can be. He said, if that's truly the case, not only will there not be another pandemic relief bill, there won't be one ever. And he said Trump's own negotiators settled for $10 billion. Actually, the fact about that is that the White House agreed to loan the United States Postal Service $10 billion, which the Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin leveraged to try and get the United States Postal Service under the control of the administration. So that is reporting, that's the actual reporting about the negotiation that went on. Now, basically, what has President Trump been saying? President Trump has been saying that the United States Postal Service is incapable of handling mail-in voting because it cannot access the emergency funds that he's blocking. He's simply not going to give them funding, and he made it clear that any requests for additional aid were non-starters in the pandemic relief negotiations. And President Trump has basically been unhappy about mail-in ballots for months, and he said that the cash-strapped United States Postal Service, and he said if they got the funding, that would lead to one of the greatest frauds in history. These are the words of the president. He said, and when he was speaking at the evening news briefing yesterday, he said that he would not approve $25 billion in emergency funding for the Postal Service or $3.5 billion in supplemental funding for election resources. And he said that that would be extremely expensive and he was simply not going to do that. Again, he said, and I quote, they don't have the money to do the universal mail-in voting, so therefore they can't do it, I guess. Are they going to do it even if they don't have the money? So basically, he's not going to sign the bill. In fact, the president actually said in the news clip that you're about to see that the biggest problem with voting will be the Democrats. It's not going to be Russia, China, or Iran. That is a pretty big statement. Let's watch this news clip and see what the president had to say in the evening briefing from yesterday about this subject involving the United States Postal Service and how this is probably going to lead to the end of all future stimulus negotiations. I hope I'm wrong, but this is reporting from various news outlets, and in the words of the president, the bill is not going to happen. Let's watch this clip.
So they want $3.5 billion for universal mail-in voting for the country, where you have hundreds of millions of voters. They can't do a little race with 20,000 people. Now they want to take it countrywide mail-in voting. It's going to be the greatest fraud in the history of elections. When you always talk about Russia, China, Iran on voting, your biggest problem is going to be with the Democrats, not with China, Russia, and Iran. Your biggest problem is going to be with the Democrats. But now the Democrats, they want $3.5 billion, think of it. But now that they're unwilling to approve a bill that gives all of that money, of course, we would never approve an amount like that. And they also want $25 billion additional for the post office, Steve. $25 billion for the post office. So the post office can handle this vast amount of ballots that are being sent at random all over the place. They have no idea where they're going. So they want $25 billion and they want, think of this, they want $3.5 billion. Would you say that's enough to cover it? I think we could do it for less, right? I think we could do it for less. But they want $25 billion for the post office because of this. And remember, the new man who's a great person, a great businessman, just got there a little while ago. The post office has been run poorly for many, many decades. Great people in the post office, incredible people, but they've had very bad leadership for many years, so we'll get it straightened out. But they turned down this bill because they want radical left agenda items that nobody in their right mind would approve. So they want $25 billion for the post office. They want $3.5 billion for universal mailing, $3.5 billion. And the bill's not going to happen because they don't even want to talk about it, because we can't give them the kind of ridiculous things that they want that have nothing to do with the China virus. It has nothing at all to do with China virus, much of what they're asking for. So therefore, they don't have the money to do the universal mail-in voting. So therefore, they can't do it, I guess, right? Are they going to do it even though they don't have the money? They're asking for the $3.5 billion. They're asking for $25 billion for the post office so they can do this, I guess, and other things. At 25, I would hope it would be a lot of other things too. But therefore, they don't have it. They don't have the money to do the universal mail-in votes. It'll be the greatest rigged election in history. It'll be the greatest fraud ever perpetrated, other than perhaps what they did to my campaign, where they spied on my campaign, President Obama, Biden, and everybody else. And they got caught. Let's see what happens. This will be one of the greatest frauds in history. So they're admitting that they want $3.5 billion, and they're not going to do a deal that's good for the American people. Therefore, they're not going to get the $3.5 billion. Therefore, they can't do the universal mail-in vote. It's very simple. How are they going to do it if they don't have the money to do it?
So there you have it, everybody. The president's comments on the United States Postal Service and how this could lead to the end of all future stimulus negotiations. That's where things stand right now. It's not the best of news, but it is what is actually happening, and it is what I'm reporting to you. My goal is to try and give you some hope and to try and help you get through this struggle. I actually wrote a song called Struggle, which I'd like to share with you right now, and hopefully it can help you to somehow try and navigate through this crisis, somehow try to heal. I will talk about how we can heal, how we can recover from this financially in the coming videos, and I have some ideas on how we can engage the community, how we can share our experiences, how we can get together and help each other, because it does take a village for us to be able to help, for us to be able to get through this. We need to help each other. Some of us are more fortunate, so we need to help each other more, and some of us who are less fortunate need to get that help and need to ask for that help. And I think our community, which is growing very, very rapidly, can start to play a role in the healing of our nation. I'll be discussing that in a little bit more detail in the next video. But for now, if you learned something new from this video, please click like below. Please subscribe also, and please enable notifications so you get instant updates about future videos going forward. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. Also, if you want to get breaking news and alerts on your phone, please get your cell phone out. Send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time, either one of those words, to 70,000. That's 70000. Remember, the name of our channel is Ignition Time, and then you'll get added to our text message alerts list, and you can opt out at any time. Once we get your email, if you give us your email and you agree to a quick disclaimer, you'll get added to our email list as well, which you can opt out at any time as well. Again, thank you so much for watching. I do want to help us heal through this. I do have some ideas, and I've seen other avenues, other channels do giveaways. I personally don't think a giveaway is a good idea, because I believe that at the end, I think the reason for my success is I was taught how to fish, and I wasn't just given the fish when times were tough. So let me know what you think below. If I do want to help the community, I just want to be clear about that. Let me know in the comment section below if you want me to do a giveaway, or if you want me to do something a bit more involved where we can take active efforts to help each other by, number one, sharing our experiences, and by sharing our experiences and helping each other. And number two, I will make sure that there is essentially a way to facilitate a reward for sharing experiences. It could be a cash reward. It could be maybe 8 to 10 minutes on the phone with me. It could be you being featured on this show with me. So let me know how you think I can help heal our community and get through this crisis. And I'm going to do whatever I can to help our community, whether it's through my music or whether it's running these kinds of engagement mechanisms where we can engage with each other, interact with each other, participate with the community, and help each other. So again, let me know in the comment section below. I'm definitely going to provide you with music, because I do believe that a lot of you like my music, so I'm going to be sharing that. But more importantly, let me know, do you want me to do giveaways? Again, I want to learn how to fish. I don't want the fish given to me, and hopefully you feel the same way. So again, let me know in the comment section below, would you like me to do giveaways? Would you like me to create a sense of community where the more fortunate can help the less fortunate, where we can create a sharing of our experiences in the comment section below, which is a very, very powerful way for us to share our experiences. And then I'm happy to do some sort of giveaway for the comments, or I'm happy to provide you with the opportunity to get featured on my show and get maybe 8 to 10 minutes of time with me one-on-one on my show. I probably won't do a lot of those because I'm extremely busy, but I would be open to something like that to heal our community. Let me know in the comment section below how you think I can help you heal through this crisis. I do believe that getting better, getting stronger financially, and learning how to fish is going to be important, and sharing experiences is going to be important. But enough said. I want you to now experience my song, Struggle. I hope you like it. I wrote the song specifically for this occasion because a lot of us are struggling. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the premiere of my song, Struggle. Enjoy. Thanks. No stranger to this tough life, this life of struggle. Every day feels it'll fall apart, it might just crumble. Try to survive each day without a word, not a mumble. Too scared it'll fall apart again, pick up the pieces from the rubble. Wish this was a dream, wish I was living in a bubble. That I had all the answers, every solution to every puzzle. Had the time to enjoy my loved ones, just sit around and cuddle. Life would be perfect, not a single sign of trouble. But sometimes it feels I'm going through an endless tunnel. Every day, every night feels like a never-ending battle. I'm in a speeding car, I just wanna get away to unbuckle. But when I step back and zoom out, all I can do is chuckle. I'm ready to fight every day, just go on with the daily hustle. I know I'll fall on my face, I know I'll take a step and then I'll stumble. This life is crazy and complex, it's anything but subtle. I'm ready with my A game, I'll give it all I have, every single muscle. No stranger to this tough life, this life of struggle. Every day feels it'll fall apart, it might just crumble. Try to survive each day without a word, not a mumble. Too scared it'll fall apart again, pick up the pieces from the rubble.